Do you think Dak should take less money to help the Cowboys?
Yes, I do. And I'll tell you why. Domonique, I know I've seen you have a problem with this point of view. First, let's understand what a salary cap is. 100% of the time, always throughout human history, a salary cap in a sports league is a transfer of wealth from the players to the owners. That's all it ever is. The competitive balancing is all nonsense. It's just a transfer of wealth from the players to the owners. That exists already. It's in the deal already. There will be a transfer of wealth from players to owners. Okay. So then it's like this idea that, well, then you have to set the market to force upward pressure on salaries. That's always a nonsense argument because the total amount for the players will remain the same. You're exerting pressure, upward pressure for the quarterback position, but I contend that that's already an overpaid position. It's an inefficient expenditure or allocation of resources to overpay quarterbacks. Okay, so I look at it not from the point of view of Dak or the point of view of the Cowboys. I look at it from the point of view of a Cowboys fan, which I certainly am not. But if I'm a Cowboys fan, I'm thinking, do I want Jared Goff problems? Because that's what you're asking for if you pay Dak Prescott as though he's Patrick Mahomes. You're asking for Jared Goff problems. You think the Rams are happy with that contract right now? Dak Prescott, I think, is going to be a great quarterback and a great leader. He probably already is an excellent leader, but a great quarterback. I think that will happen sometime in the future. I don't know about the near future. It's certainly not the present. I haven't seen a great quarterback. So why am I going to pay him simply because the market is irrationally exuberant toward what they pay quarterbacks? I got to feed into that. If I'm Dak and I want to be, or if I'm a Cowboys fan and I want a good as team as possible, I'd like those resources allocated better than to way overpay a quarterback who I'm hoping one day may be worth the contract.
Max Kellerman, I disagree with you, but it's not because, excuse me, it's not because I don't get your points. I just think in the era that we're living in, you look at it a bit differently than me. I understand the cap issue and what have you in the sport of football. You got a hard salary cap, and whatever amount of money you get, it takes away from others. I get all of that. I'm looking at the ascension of the black quarterback. I'm looking from an historical perspective how so many people have had to take less. That clearly should not be a Dak Prescott. And I look at it from the standpoint that, you know what, I know that Tom Brady took less, but you know what, Matt Stafford didn't take less at the time. Matt Ryan didn't take less at the time. Jimmy Garoppolo didn't take less at the time. There's a plethora. Aaron Rodgers clearly didn't take less at the time. And he
now that it's the black quarterback, it's time everyone to take less.
And he's not married to Giselle Bundchen.
Well, again, I understand. But at the end of the day, I'm not down for that. That's number one. I don't think Patrick Mahomes should take less either.
He shouldn't.
He should get everything that he's worth. But I also say this, and you and I have disagreed with this in the past when we've talked about Kobe. And I bring that up for only this, just so for your understanding. Max and I would disagree about Kobe because I would sit up there and make the argument that the Lakers had ample opportunities to do the right things in the years that Kobe was there and didn't do the right things and rode his coattails. So since he was the box office appeal and enabling your brand for you to monetize your brand, why shouldn't Kobe be compensated for that? In a similar argument, certainly that's not the case necessarily with Dak Prescott, but what I am saying is this. You're number one in yards accumulated. You got the number 2 passing attack. You've got the number 6 offense in football. You've never missed a game in 4 years. You started every game. You have a winning record.
Universally lauded as a leader.
Universally lauded as a leader. And I'm supposed to take less? Hell no.
And he's led game-winning drives in the playoffs in big moments. He's done everything that you want your quarterback to do. So to your point, to the Kobe point that you're making, obviously he's not on Kobe's level.
Game-winning drives in the playoffs?
Yeah, he did against the Seahawks last year. He led a game-winning drive against the Seahawks last year. He led a game-tying drive
against the Green Bay Packers, and then they came back on him.
So, he's played well in big moments, is what I'm saying.
Yes, he has.
So that's the only point I'm making. To your argument about the Kobe similarities, he has been getting underpaid for 3 years. So I would certainly not argue that he should continue to be underpaid. They owe him money, and they should pay him that money. So I would also say, you were cherry-picking names. Like you said, you don't want Jared Goff problems. He's not Jared Goff. His career is almost identical as Russell Wilson's as far as trajectory. He jumped into a team that was ready-made, and he was a rookie, and he kind of game-managed his way to a successful season. That's what he did. Then the next year, he took a little more responsibility. Then his third year, you're like, oh, this is the guy, this is his team. He's the most important player on that offense. That's more Russell Wilson than it is Jared Goff. So you don't want, I think a lot of people would sign up for Russell Wilson problems. Those are good problems to have. So
let's talk about Russell Wilson problems. before Russell Wilson got paid, they were a Super Bowl powerhouse, right? Soon as he got paid, they started having problems because they couldn't pay guys on the defense. And it's because Russell Wilson was excellent, but he wasn't yet what he would become.
So I'm looking forward to having this debate, but I also think that you're making the weaker argument for your side. So I can argue for you in a second and tell you why he should consider taking it. But in actuality, the point is, Dak Prescott, his job is to play quarterback and to make as much money as he can playing quarterback. It's not his job to manage the cap. You know how you succeed? You know how you succeed when you have to pay a high-priced quarterback? By drafting well. You can have a quarterback who is under market value and spend money elsewhere, or you can draft a quarterback and pay a quarterback well, and then
what we've seen is on the rookie deal, you have a window nowadays to win.
But that's not his
after
job.
That rookie deal, I'm not saying
he's doing his job. You do your job.
I'm not saying it's his job. I'm saying
it's not his responsibility.
As a Cowboys fan, what do I want to see this guy get paid? He is not. If it's Patrick Mahomes,
I mean, that's true of everybody.
No.
Who's going to say
it's not? No, Mahomes. You say whatever he gets.
In his 4 years in the NFL, he's collected $4 million. Do you think it's embarrassing that the people that cover him on television are making more money than him?
I mean,
this is the most valuable franchise in all of sports, and he's the quarterback.
Is that okay? If you're asking me that question, what I would tell you the answer to that is
that is a very interesting question that you would ask, Molly. I mean, what are you trying to say?
I'm just wondering how Max.
I will tell you.
I'm just saying. Are they at the NFL Network? They have Fox, ESPN. I mean, damn, you just don't throw it out there.
I don't get paid like that.
I will answer that question.
Yeah.
I think that the way the NFL salaries are structured, rookie deals should not be what they are. You should be able to make much more money once you get in the league. I think that would also help getting more, understanding that careers don't have to be 15 years. You wind up with CTE. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.